Prescription drugs are the second most commonly abused drug, taking place in the charts right behind marijuana and ahead of cocaine, heroin, and meth. The National Institute of Health estimates that nearly 20% of people in the United States have used prescription drugs for non-medical reasons. The most popular prescription drugs that are abused are prescribed for pain and depressants prescribed for sleeping problems and anxiety. Why are prescription drugs so heavily abused? Why do you think? I mean, is it because we have a little bit left over? Like if we go to the doctor and we get a prescription and we might have some left over. We've cured, like we couldn't sleep, say for instance. And so we were able to get through that and we sleep, and then we have a little left over. And then one night you can't sleep and then you start taking them when you really don't need them? I mean, why do we, is it cheaper? Why are prescription drugs more abused?
Are you talking, are you speaking more of narcotic prescription drugs?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
well,
they are.
That's a different story. Because, no, seriously, it is. It's really a different story. I hate to say this, but
say it.
You know, I have seen so many physicians, and especially those patients that are depressed or elderly patients. You come to the physician and you tell them you're having this type of pain, and the person gets the prescription for the narcotic, and they, you know, it makes them feel better. It takes away most of the pain, so they come back and they become addicted.
But you can also, the street value of narcotics has continually gone up.
It has.
You know, to have the answer of why people abuse drugs, that would be, wow, that would be amazing to have that answer. But actually, in in Tennessee right now, OxyContin, Lortab, Xanax.
It has a street value, you know.
It keeps going up.
I get that confused with the antacids.
With the what?
Antacid, but it's a different name, isn't it?
It's Xanax.
Xanax.
Yeah, they'll know the difference when they're buying. But
well,
why
it's so
people
cheap
do that?
to get a prescription, and then if you turn it over, the street value is much higher.
It's a lot more.
Yes,
it's a lot more.
Is.
But actually, what's happening in some areas, you have some drug clinics, pain clinics. Is that what we're calling them?
Yeah, there's an increase in pain clinics as well.
There are some reputable ones, but there are those that will sell. So they're making money selling those prescriptions, which they've been in the news lately. Even here in Tennessee, a couple of them have been shut down, where you could just go in, complain about pain. They'd give you the prescription for, I mean, generally you could just ask for it. And then you go out there and you sell, gosh, OxyContin's what, $10 a pill or something even like that. I mean, it's pretty, so it's almost easier to get sometimes because you can get the prescription and get it filled legally, and then you can sell it illegally.
Yes, you can. And it has been in the news quite a bit, particularly with celebrities. It is not uncommon for celebrities to die of prescription overdoses. Marilyn Monroe, Dorothy Dandridge, Jimi Hendrix, Bruce Lee, Elvis Presley, Chris Penn, Gerald Levert, Anna Nicole Smith, and most recently, pop icon Michael Jackson. Do private doctors get drawn into the fame game instead of focusing on what's best for their patient's health? I mean, it's similar to going to a drug clinic, saying you have a pain, and they're drawn into, I'm just doing this, I'm selling this, right? So if you're a celebrity and you're a doctor has a celebrity as a patient, they might get drawn into the fact, well, hey, you know, I'm treating so-and-so, and feel as though it's my duty to give them whatever they ask for.
it's my duty to make as much money as I can from that celebrity. So
Yeah.
I
think I don't really can't comment on what the physician was thinking, but propofol, isn't that what he used?
Profilol.
Yeah, you know, that's a drug we use in the OR, and that's not one you use outside of a confined environment where you can monitor respirations, give, you know, oxygen. I've never known it to be, I mean, I haven't ever known it to be used outside of an OR.
Wow.
An operating room.
We used it in the ICU as well. When patients, and you want them heavily sedated.
But they were there in the intensive care unit
Right,
where they
where
could
you could be monitored.
and emergency measures immediately be taken for respiratory distress.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Jackson was getting ready to go on tour, and Conrad Murray had ordered 4 gallons of propofol for Michael Jackson.
You know,
So he was prepared to work with him throughout the entire tour.
first of all, I just believe that, you know, with that particular case, you know, for someone that needed propofol to sleep, they really have a bad addiction.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yes, well he was
yeah.
addicted to other things. I mean, Michael Jackson has not had your regular life. And I'm
Right.
sure he was being serviced by other physicians in terms of other drugs that he was getting. So Anna Nicole Smith's former doctor, Dr. Sandeep Kapoor, who was acquitted on charges of illegally providing drugs to the late Smith, says he feels sympathy for Michael Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray. He said that he is sure that Dr. Murray meant well. Well, I'm sure Conrad Murray meant well too, because according to CNN, Murray was making $150,000 a month from Mr. Jackson.
Wow.
Is it right for doctors to be on a patient's payroll? Is that right? Does that cross the line? Is there anything wrong with that? I mean, you can hire a nurse. Can you hire a doctor? Is there something wrong with that?
Well, you know, I don't know, but it seems like a doctor would still use good judgment, you know, even if your time was 100% committed to a client or a patient, you would still have to exercise.
But it's supposed to be for the patient's best
Interest,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, and that would be the sole purpose too.
Right,
That's,
right.
you know,
Well, I'm
just
sure
to really take care of the patient and wouldn't have to share time with anyone else. And
Well, at $150,000 a month, I'm sure he wanted to keep him alive as long as he could.
absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I don't know if this is it the dollar amount that is a little bit makes it not ethical, or is it just that it's crossed the line of doctor-patient relations?
I mean,
The oath is different that doctors take than nurses, and I'm really, and you know, gosh, I hate to say anything about their decisions and what they do, but is it uncommon for them to be a personal physician to? Not really, but I don't know about staying in their home.
Well, that's
And,
another thing,
you
spending
know,
the night. Yes,
staying there. But if you're
absolutely.
giving them that type of a drug, yeah, I would think you would stay there. But you know, it's very difficult to even say.
It is difficult to say, but unfortunately we're out of time. That's all the time we have for Hot Topics, and I'd like to thank my guests, Marilyn Robinson, Elaine Busey, and Dr. Diane Campbell. Next up on The Eye, we'll sit down with Dr. Gloria Richard Davis of Meharry Medical College. We'll be right back.